Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here and today with a quick review of Tuca and Bertie season 2 premiere that aired last night on Adult Swim and is currently present on Adult Swim's YouTube page. So I'm just going to give some of my thoughts about this show. This show has been hyped up for actually quite a while. I think last year they announced they acquired the rights to Tuca and Bertie after it was very unceremoniously canceled after one season by Netflix, which a lot of people were surprised by considering it was a cult hit on Netflix. It definitely had its following there. And another interesting thing with not Tanami, with Adult Swim picking up on Tuca and Bertie is that with how the rights are, they do not get the rights to air any of the first season. So this episode is the first episode that airs on Adult Swim. And that leads into one of the things I actually liked about this. The first episode, it felt like a pilot. Like, it's very tempting if this is actually the second season to just continue on with another episode, but knowing that quite a few people are just going to be introduced to the show by this episode and not by season one, it felt like they did take a bit enough time to kind of go into the characters and be like, this is this character, and kind of give enough of a taste of what their personalities are, and I like that, you know? And it didn't take too long doing it. They really just summed it up pretty well with like an opening scene where Birdie is at the psychiatrist and basically is like, "Oh, describe your relationships. Oh, this is Tuca. This is my best friend. And oh yeah, this guy. I forgot his name already. Yeah, this is my boyfriend of 5 years. And it's like these are the two important people in my life." And she did just enough to kind of describe the characters and get kind of a feel for their personalities. And that's something I kinda like too, is they definitely gave a bit of color to these characters in a way, like, through one episode, I think I know what I have a good grasp on what Tuca is as a character. I have a good grasp on what Birdie is in a character, and even the boyfriend character, I think I have a good grasp on what he is. They kind of establish themselves as characters, you know? That's kind of a writing 101 thing, but hey, the show actually did a decent job of that. And ultimately, after that, there's some things, of course, I didn't necessarily like about this episode. It's hard to say specifically. It's the type of show where Adult Swim, it's kind of common knowledge now that in the last year or two, Adult Swim has been really making a push to have like more female creators, to have more female-led shows. And this was a very obvious selection for that goal. Kind of the same thing with Birdgirl. And at the same time, the humor felt like it was probably driving towards a more female-centric audience. So some of the jokes were, like, structured in such a way that I think they're writing them for the girls in the crowd, not necessarily for, like, a generalized audience, which in theory would make sense. It's like, because Adult Swim historically has struggled getting a female audience, so it's like, we'll have shows that appeal to females. But at the same time, that show at the same time, if it doesn't do an amazing job of appealing to females, it could have an ace in the sleeve of at least having a male appeal as well to a degree. Like, there's no other better way to phrase it. Like, at the same time, it's like, okay, we have a male centric audience, let's try to get a female audience. But at the same time, it's plausible when you're going for a female audience, you possibly alienate your male audience as well. And if that show doesn't necessarily capture the female audience, you might have just alienated both possible male and female viewers, which is a worst case scenario. I felt like the show kind of put all of its eggs in one basket. We don't know ratings yet, of course, so I don't know. This could have been a gamble that completely pays off for Adult Swim. We don't know yet. I think it's plausible. Like, and also this felt like specifically by age demographic too. This felt like they're appealing specifically to millennials. And that's one thing about the show. Through watching this one episode, I'm kind of stuck in this like between zone where I can't tell if this is supposed to be kind of like lampooning millennials or unironically trying to be like a hip show to millennials. Because there are points it felt like the type of show a 50-year-old like white guy would write, trying to appeal to those hip youth who eat their avocado toast and have mental disorders or something, you know. And it really felt like that at points. At times, it kind of felt like it was trying to make fun of that. And it hit this weird, it kind of felt like mostly for millennials, where it felt like, yeah, at points it was clearly trying to be a satire, but at the same times, they took themselves a bit too seriously, I think, for that specific joke to land. But at the same time, you know, I came into this not expecting much. The only good thing I saw from like the previews was fact they use Bucky Dun Gun by MIA for their not their intro for like the promo, which is a song I absolutely love. It's an amazing song. Check it out if you haven't. And at the same time, considering that, I was kind of pleasantly surprised by this. Like, I would not recommend the show. I think it's an all right show. It's at the same time, it really feels like it's appealing to a certain audience. If that audience happens to catch on, then it's going to be very successful for Adult Swim. If it doesn't, then it's going to be a lot like when a lot of people already forgot this when not Cartoon Network, when Comedy Central a couple years back acquired the rights to rerun episodes of BoJack Horseman because this was when BoJack Horseman was at its absolute zenith of popularity. So not Cartoon, the Comedy Central thought, wait, if we can get just reruns, then people who heard the hype but not necessarily watch on Netflix, they'll come and watch it here. Except for the show absolutely bombed. And they tried their hardest too. They put BoJack Horseman after new episodes of South Park, which far and away right now is the only real big cash cow show Comedy Central is right now. Comedy Central is in kind of a crap position. Though I think Viacom acquired the rights to Family Guy, so I think they're gonna have reruns of Family Guy probably sometime in the fall. I think Viacom was what bought the rights from Time Warner, which is why. Oh yeah, if you haven't heard this yet, sometime in this fall, Family Guy and Bob's Burgers are gonna be off of Adult Swim. So again, Adult Swim. This is probably one of the reasons why they acquired Tuca and Bertie. They simply just need to have shows to fill in those slots. That's probably why Birdgirl. I haven't heard news about Birdgirl if it gets another season or not. I'm assuming it's a safe assumption it gets as many seasons they want just to serve as filler. And that's why I think they're trying to push more Rick and Morty out too, because they need the sheer number of episodes for time slots. And it could be like, well, Rick and Morty gets like one episode per weekday. Yeah, but the show's only 41 episodes long at this point. So if you're airing one episode per weekday over 5 weekdays, that means you're rerunning the show every 8 weeks. And that's not including you air like another episode on Saturdays. I think sometimes they air 2 episodes on some weekdays. So you run through episodes very fast. And that's not an ideal situation because if you repeat the specific episodes over and over again, you are going to increase losing viewers. So again, in Tuca and Bertie, I feel like it could get bad ratings and still be renewed as long as the creators want to continue it. It's one of those. It's actually not made by Cartoon Network Studios. I forgot. It starts with T, the actual studio that makes this. But they'll probably keep commissioning more and more episodes simply to have something to air. And again, it's something they can say, hey, look, we can appeal to a female audience as well. And I'm not female, so I can't first hand say, yeah, this is a good or this is a bad job of doing this. But I mean, the ratings, if they come out, ratings are really spotty now. Like sometimes we get ratings, sometimes we don't. Like for example, I cover if you don't follow my channel normally, I usually cover Tanami. And Tanami, only one of the past 4 weeks we've gotten ratings for. And those were like really bad ratings too. And some people are starting to say maybe it's because Time Warner is complaining about how bad their shows are. So they think that when something like Showbuzz Daily or now Spoiler TV show our ratings, it's going to be bad press. So they want to avoid that bad press. So maybe we don't even get the numbers here. But I'm fully expecting Tuca and Birdie probably get renewed as long as they want. What do you guys think? If I had to rate this, I'm gonna be actually kind of generous and give this a 6.5 out of 10. What do you guys think? Have you watched Tuca and Bertie? What's your opinions on it? Leave your comments, leave your opinions down below. Appreciate your input. I am Super Orange Cat, and that is all.